Hello everybody. Welcome to Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. Hey, it's Rob and I got a super special episode for you for Tobacco Thursday, Tobacco Card Inspired Thursday on Old Style Classics Baseball Cards, and we're going to go old style to the max. My favorite cards, people. So I hope you enjoy this. We're going to do a slew of cards. Don't forget to speed up the video by 1.25 or 1.5 if I sound too slow. Please like, subscribe, leave a message, send people my way. I'm still trying to reach 200 subscribers by my 1 year anniversary on September 23rd, and I think we need like 21 more people, so that I can do a contest for y'all. Alright, people, today on Old Style Classics, we're going to get to it. I love baseball. I love nostalgia. I think a lot of you understand. And my favorite set of cards from Topps, for multiple reasons, is Topps Allen and Ginter. And I was just blown away the first time I ever seen it, because of course they have the old tobacco style mini cards, which I was always fascinated with growing up. And it all started with Allen and Ginter, the original Allen and Ginter Tobacco Company. And 1887, they were the first mass-produced cards given away with tobacco, with cigarettes. I know Goodwin did some stuff before then, but these were the ones that are probably considered the first mass-produced and not just regional. So there is one of the original Allen and Ginters from 1887. This is W.M. Muldoon. He's a wrestler, but more like a Greco-Roman wrestler. He was famous at the time. And as you can see, that's the very first set of Allen and Ginters. Now Goodwin, Gypsy Queen, all that, they were all around at the same time. So, these are the first sets of cards, maybe is a better way to put it. But nevertheless, as you can see here, just like Goodwin when they first started as well, these cards were never a baseball card set. These cards were always the world champions. So if you can see that, W.M. Muldoon, Allen and Ginter cigarettes, and Richmond, Virginia. And there's the little checklist, and I'll show you a clearer checklist. But you had 10 baseball players, then you had oarsmen, wrestlers, pugilists, which is boxers, rifle shooters, billiard players, and pool players. So right there, as you can see, there's the checklist of all the cards that you could have got from 1887 Allen and Ginter in your cigarette packs. So these are the only baseball ones. So some of the biggest cards ever are in this set, and you got to argue that is arguably one of the most beautiful sets of cards ever made. Top 5, maybe Crackerjack, T206, and some other ones. Turkey Reds maybe, but there's the original checklist. So just limited, like one, call that about a fourth or a fifth of the checklist is baseball. And so when you get Allen and Ginters and you think you're getting a bunch of weird stuff that you're like, I don't want that, I don't want this, or why are they putting a field hockey person or a soccer player in my baseball cards? Well, it's because they're not baseball cards, they're world champions cards. But now Topps, it's like 90%, 85% baseball, and then the rest is your oddball stuff. But they're keeping with the tradition. I was always fascinated with these little tobacco cards. When I was a little kid, I'd look at the magazines and just dream about having one. I finally picked one up in the last year off of eBay. Now, of course, my next step is to get a baseball player, but those are super expensive. But I was fascinated when I was a kid, and when I kind of started getting back into buying cards like from blasters or the hobby shop. I used to just hunt for oddball stuff like in the cereal boxes through the 90s and the early 2000s. I'd pick up a pack here and there of other stuff. But when I picked up that Bowman set and pulled that Jacoby Ellsbury autograph, then I started going to, I kind of got hooked. So I went to the local card shop, and that's where I discovered Allen and Ginter from Topps 2006, just by chance. Now, of course, I bought a few packs, and I was like, oh my god, I love these little cards. Is it Bubba's Bullpen in Albuquerque, Wyoming and Manal used to be there. And the guy's like, oh yeah, have you seen these? And he showed me, and I was like, oh my god, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Immediately bought a few packs, and he's like, hey, this is the thing that they brought out to advertise it. So this is the sell sheet from 2006, Topps Allen and Ginter, and he used to have all this kind of literature that they would hand out, send to the hobby shops, and he would put them out there, and if you wanted it, you can have it. I was like, oh my god, that's cool, can I have that? And he said sure. And so that's how I got this sell sheet, which is super rare. And I had the 2007 one as well. So it's got Danica Patrick, and that blew me away because of course she was super popular at the time. Of course, all guys, we had a crush on her. And I was like, that is so cool. And so I took this and I've kept it the whole time. And I can't wait to get this autographed by her someday, because not too many people have these. Now this would show you what you could get from Allen and Ginter, the features of the set. So I've showed this before, but we're kind of gonna race through this set. I mean this here, because I got something from eBay earlier in the week to go along with my Allen and Ginter 2006 collection. So it talks about the frames, the relics, the rip cards. And there's an original Cap Anson. So one of these, and showing you in the original size. That's the big card to get out of the original Allen and Ginter. It cost you like $100,000 if you can find a good one. Box loaders, and you can get them autographed, or relics like Josh Gibson here. Shows you the set features there if you'd like to pause that. And then the postcards. And they do have one-on-one postcards from 15 people, and they're personalized and signed. Danica Patrick's one of those. So needless to say, when I first saw these, I was like, oh my god, I gotta get this card. It was the coolest thing ever seen. Of course, we all liked her. And then I found out she had an autograph card, one of these minis autographed in frame. And so that was like my white whale for the last 18 years, trying to find that card. So that's one of the things that they put out there to promote Allen and Ginter before it came out. And then they also had cards at the National. So the National Sports Card Collectors Convention, they did these. Now this is kind of semi-glossy of a Nolan Ryan here. So these were given out at the National to preview Allen and Ginter. So like I've said in the past, one of my goals is to collect like one of each different kind of thing that they've done over the years. And there's a good example, a National card. And of course from the first year. So that is 2006 Nolan Ryan. But if you see that, it says NCC 6. So that came from the National. And that's one of the promotions they were putting to show you what this set was going to be all about. Another thing that they also sent out to people was an original rip card. So these were sent out to hobby shops or places so that guys, people can come into their store and they would hand them out one of these. Now these are all the same. These are a preview of the rip cards that were going to be available from Allen and Ginter. And so I bought one that's unopened, one that was ripped, and as you can see, this is an original 2006 Alex Rodriquez on the front. So I bought these to show the progression of what a rip card is. So you have the rip card, and all these were a promo given in a little cellophane pack to the hobby shops, and every one of them had a Mickey Mantle card in there. So I bought this one like that. I was going to pull that out, but my wife told me, no, don't pull it out, just get the rip, get the Mickey. So I got the one unripped, started to be ripped, and then the little card that's on the inside. So the Mickey Mantle that's on the inside there. So that's the original rip card, and that's the original Mickey Mantle for Alan and Ginter to promote what one of the hits would be that you can get in there. Now, as you can see, that's got a cardboard back. So these might have came out even before the national ones. So that's one of the very few Alan and Ginter cards that have a cardboard back. Now, all this stuff led up to all the Alan and Ginter and stuff that we see nowadays. And I love Alan and Ginter. I like the odd stuff. And this is just spectacular. So I had to get one of these. So now you can see the progression of what a rip card is. From this to this to this. So that was part of my collection. And so what you would get was, put this aside, you could either pick up packs from like retail, like a gravity feeder or packs, or single packs at the hobby shop if they were open with the hobby logo. Or the way that I went was you can get blasters. So I have two of these blasters from original 2006 Alan and Ginter. These were 20 bucks at the time. So it's got that Mickey Mantle right there on the front. So, but the only way you can get that one was in that rip card. And then of course it had Danica on the front of the blaster. So then it had all this information, and that's why I was chasing these cards forever, especially her autograph. And we'll get to how that turned out if you haven't watched my old episodes. But she was my white whale, my Grail card. And so here's what you would get. Now, I had a big styrofoam thing in here, and then just the packs at the bottom. And so here's the small print, if you'd like to read that. Now, I've had two of these boxes ever since 2006. I used to do the autographs by groups and all that. And so shows you all the different things you can get. Like, look at this relic, George W. Bush, John F. Kennedy. This is the one set that was affordable, that you can pull stuff like John F. Kennedy, or Abraham Lincoln DNA cards or dinosaur card. And this is where it all started with Topps. Now, they had done Topps 206 and 205 before, and National Chicle maybe. Hey, there we go, Danica Patrick, Group C on the short prints. And those didn't quite make it. They kept trying Topps 206 over and over, and now it's an online exclusive. So Alan and Ginter should be announcing soon, because it's about the time of year it normally comes out of September, but they could be delayed because they were delayed last year. But we should be seeing the new Alan and Ginter or find something out about it in like the next month. And I think what they're going to do with Alan and Ginter now is they did away with Alan and Ginter Chrome as a hobby box, and they're going to put Chrome cards as an insert or as a short print or a hit. So that is super cool. I love that. Now, this is the packaging I always had. So I like anything that had to do with 2006 Alan and Ginter. And so you would open a pack, and then you could get stuff like this. So here we go. That's a full-size card of an original Cap Anson. So this is the one that you would want to get in the mini from the original 1887. If you could get this card in this, you'd have quite the big card. And so, like I said, I'll show you that's um, kind of a reproduction of the actual back of the. So the original cards, all of them had the same back, and that's a clear image of it. But as you can see there, it's a little different, obviously, because it says it's all in the same font and everything. The Allen and Ginter's in the blue, and instead of Richmond, Virginia, and cigarettes, it says Brooklyn, Tops, New York. But that is the checklist. So if you want to see what you could have originally got from Allen and Ginter, that's it right there. So hopefully that's coming in clear. And that is a short print. So anything over 30, anything above 300, so 301 to 350 is a short print. So mostly what you're going to see here is short prints or variations. But there's the Adrian Cap Anson Chicago White Stockings, which is the Chicago Cubs. Don't get it mixed up with the White Sox, because the Cubs changed their name from the White Stockings to the Cubs eventually, and they went through like 5 or 6 names. They settled on the Cubs, and then when the Chicago American League team came along, they swiped the name White Sox to try to pull fans that may have thought that they were still the old team. So there's the beautiful Cap Anson. Picked him up this year on eBay. Then they had a mini version of these guys as well. So I think all the baseball players that were in the original Allen and Ginter, they did basically the repro. But obviously it's not trying to be an original Allen and Ginter, because it wouldn't say Tops or card 317 on there. So that's showing you in every pack you are going to get a mini along with the full-size cards. And just another one of the hot cards from the time is the Jenny Finch. She's also an autograph and all that stuff. She's one of the short prints. So I believe the first year most of the what you guys would consider the weirdo or oddball people, non-baseball, were the short print people, like the presidents and stuff like that, were all the cards above 301 or 301 and up. So there was the Jenny Finch. So these are the kind of things, you know, you would get that blaster or cards from a hobby box, and you got 8 packs plus 1, well, you know, 7 plus 1. And so this is the kind of stuff that you would get in there. So let's show you some of the things that you would get. Just a moment. Okay, we're going to lead into this stuff in a minute. So quickly, there were the minis. Now I'm a mini tobacco collector, so I love these mini cards. That was a big one, especially if you can get the autograph, the Andy Irons. So that's one of the short prints. So I have all the short print high number ones put in plastic. I don't know where my base ones are, the ones below 300, as far as the minis go. Then you had like Ulysses S. Grant, just to give you some comparison. Rutherford B. Hayes. Get this lighting just right. Hopefully you guys can read that. Sorry, folks. And these people were champions of some sort, or people of importance, like Wilbur Wright of the Wright brothers. So this is exactly what the original Allen and Ginter would have gave you the years that Allen and Ginters were doing cards. Like I showed you, I picked up the Indian Chief and the Spaniard Smoking, and they just did all kinds of different things, pretty girls, birds, all kinds of stuff. And so now we get into some of the baseball players. So Ramos Hernandez, And this is the Allen and Ginter backs. So that was the first short prints. Were obviously a mini is a short print just because it's one in however many cards. Like how many cards did you get here per pack? Alright, what did I do with it? Bear with me, folks. So for the retail pack, you got 6 cards. So one of the 6 cards was going to be one of these minis. And then, of course, 1 out of every 5 packs, you should get a Allen and Ginter back. And then you got Sean Green here. So the stars of the day. 350 card set. David Ortiz. Just beautiful cards, people. They patinaed a little bit over the years, and I think that's kind of cool. Victor Martinez. Alright. Adjust this camera just a little bit more. Maybe it'll focus a little better. Alright, then Trevor Hoffman. And G-back, and that was one of the original, back in the 1880s, one of the smoking sets they had. This guy was one of the smokers, and he would be smoking a pipe. So that's where they came up with that A&G back. Jason Isringhausen. Now, of course, the A&G backs are a lot different nowadays. Carlos Zambrano for McCubbies. All right, Carlos Lee. So the A&G backs. And then Stonewall Jackson. Civil War, number 342. And now the thing with the Allen and Ginter was one of the tributes that they do not only to the original 1887 Allen and Ginters, but they also do a tribute to the 1887 and 2006 Allen and Ginter set by the more recent modern sets, like in the 2000 teens, and or at least from this point going forward. They do the rookie design variant or the mini design variant, mini rookie design. So this one here is a 2021, and these are a 2021 card in the style of the 2006, which is also basically in the style of the 1887. So you can still pick up your recent players. They do it in 2023 as well, RDV, and that is the 2006 design. And on 2021, and they also carried that over to Chrome. That's a rookie design variant. So there you go, RDV on this one. And then previous to that was MRD, to give you a little differentiation between the years because they get confusing. But that is in the 2006 style. They also did the like clearly authentic, the see-through cards in the 2006 design as well. So you got your minis, and then here's just some of the stuff that you could also get. So they actually did a checklist. So there was checklist 1 of 2, showing you all the different stuff that you can get there. If you want to pause that and read it, please do. Checklist 2 of 2. So this is exactly what I'm saying. I needed the checklists because if you look here, it's not one of the actual cards. It's not part of the checklist. It's not one of the 350 cards. So this is just something extra that I needed because I'm a huge fan of 2006. And I just bought that one card off that guy who's a super collector, who's 8 cards away from getting the master set of Allen and Ginter minus the 101s, like the postcards. And then they also had advertisements in the pack, so these would also act as like a dummy card to trick pack searchers. But they would show you the Allen Ginter rip card thing, an advertisement for the rip cards. And they also would have the crack the code card, which I don't have in front of me right now, but I think you can go back and look at my video from work yesterday, and it's up on my wall. Alright, and then you got the full-size cards, so like Vladimir Guerrero. So once again, in comparison, Tobacco Mini, so you would get 5 of these and 1 of these. Alright folks, so let's get to it, and I'll show you the back, the basic back. Now people, these outside of my hits that are in the other box might be all the Allen and Ginter full-size cards that I have. So I just wasn't able to pick up a whole lot. I may have some more, but these ones were in a jewel case, one of these cases. So I feel like I pulled all the 2006s that I found and put them into there so they didn't get beat up in a 5,000 card box. So then you had like bin sheets, the actual A-Rod card, so the Alex Rodriquez card, number 50. Of course, he's all over that sell sheet. And of course, he's the original rip card. Jack Wilson, Ryan Giles, just wonderful stock. And these cards are just perfect for getting signed. Pudge Rodriguez, Hall of Famer. Maglio Ordonez, Placido Polanco, Mike Matheny, Eric Chavez, beautiful cards. Andy Pettit, look at that, young Andy Pettit on the Astros. Orlando Hernandez, they said they just really knocked it out of the park in 2006, and it was actually it was awarded the it was awarded the best card set of the year, best baseball card set of the year in 2006. I don't know if it was Beckett or who did that at the time. Hank Blaylock, Preston Wilson, Joe Mauer, there you go, Hall of Famer, new Hall of Famer, Zach Duke. Look at this babyface kid, Miguel Cabrera, people, Miggy. Larry Bibby, J.J. Hardy, Lance Berkman, Jeremy Reed, Jim Edmonds, Rob Barajas, Igjuchi, Mark Grudzlaner, Johan Santana. Alright, then just like all times, you get old timers in Allen and Ginter, which is cool. I think 2015 was the one set that they didn't really use retired players unless they were the short prints, because they were doing 10th anniversary, and so they had a lot of other stuff in the set. Ozzie Guillen, there you go, right after the White Sox won the World Series, I believe. Bob Feller, and there's your weirdo stuff, but not all the weirdo stuff is insert. Some of it's actually part of the base set. So, hot dog eating champion, Kobayashi, that is a short print, 312. but it is part of the base set. Brad Hop, Hap, and then of course like Rutherford B. Hayes, President, and we saw some of the other presidents in here. Now Stonewall Jackson, not quite a president. Oh, here we go. So we have a mini to compare with his full-size card right there. So just spectacular. Wonderful cards. Great stock. And been a huge success for him. And here are some of the inserts. So they did have the Sean Green. So does that look like his? So there you go, Sean Green. And the Dick Perez interpretation of the mini. Be careful, people. People try to sell these on eBay as 101s. I think the next year when they did these again, it says 101, but that's showing you what the original art card would have been. Aubrey Huff, Dick Perez collection. So of course there's other inserts in this set as well. Now, if you're lucky, you would pick up a hit. And this is the first hit that I ever got from Allen & Ginter. And that was the Clint Barnes relic card. So mini frame relic, and I was just blown away. Just awesome stuff. Just got me hooked on Allen & Ginter. Loved it from that point forward. Because of this kind of stuff. Because I love these tobacco minis. Now, all these years later, like 18 years later, this last year since I started Old Style Classics baseball cards, I went ahead and, oh, actually no, this is my first hit. This was my first autograph. I pulled this out of one of these packs. I don't know if it was a pack that I got out of the hobby box at the store where you paid like $3 or $5 or whatever it was, but I did pull a Clint Barnes, and that's a cool autograph. And then to match it up, this year I bought his relic because that was pretty cheap. Now the funny thing about Clint Barnes is, I didn't know at the time, but I guess he was a big chase because he's one of the 15 101 postcards that came in a hobby box. So I didn't even know that at the time because he never really panned out, you know, like Mike Trout or something like that. But I had to pick this up just to have this as a group. So the beautiful framed cards. Now I also picked one of these up in opening some of those packs when I originally got them. So I originally pulled a full-size Danica Patrick, which is the favorite card that I always wanted because she's on that. She's on this. So I pulled the full-size card, and then later on I ended up pulling the mini. So that just enticed me more to hunt for her autograph card. Well, recently I picked up a second one of her base mini, and about 6 months ago I picked up the black border of hers. And just recently from that guy who's the Super 2006 collector, I got the Danica Patrick A&G back. So he had it graded and was selling it. He's the guy that's like 8 cards away from having it. Not the A&G back. It's the no number. I'm sorry. It's the no number card. Excuse me. So I still need to go find an A&G back. And they were also selling. They were selling a Bazooka back, which is the same as Brooklyn back nowadays. But yeah, it was just too expensive. but I did pick up a known number, so that's one of the variations that I needed to pick up. And then people, lo and behold, after 18 years of wanting to pull one myself from a box, I could not do it. I ended up buying the 10th anniversary autograph card of hers as a placeholder because I always wanted one of her autographs, but my heart was really with this card, the 2006 Danica Patrick mini framed autograph, and I finally found one this last year. So now I have two of hers, one of the 10th anniversary and this original 2006. These cards are pretty expensive, and they were super expensive right from the get-go. I wanted to pull one, was never able to do it. Now you just cannot find this stuff anymore. I saw somebody selling one of these blasters for over $800, and the hobby boxes are going for $3,000 if you could even find one, and you're still not guaranteed to get this card. So I chased it for a long time. I finally had to give in and pay up for it, but I'm so happy I did it because I've been wanting that card for so long. Alright people, so next let's get to my eBay. So my eBay from Gary in Dayton, Ohio, came in this here giant box. So maybe you'll have a little bit of a clue of what it is that I wanted to pick up to add to my collection of 2006 Allen & Ginter. And for like 20 bucks, a little over 20 bucks with shipping and everything, I had to pick it up. Because much like keeping this for 20 years, this blaster, fascinated with that. But I always wanted, because I could not afford these at the time, I obviously couldn't afford to open one at the time, to buy a complete hobby box. So now I have the original 2006 Allen & Ginter hobby box. It's obviously already opened. It doesn't have cards that I know of. So there's the back, showing you the different odds that you can get, what you get in the hobby box. Let's kind of aim this up a little bit. Hobby exclusive cards randomly inserted in 43 autographs, relics, autograph postcards. So those are the 101s. That says, see the bottom, rip cards, 24 packs, 7 cards per pack. So it's guiding us here to look at the odds. So if you want to see that, that'll tell you about the like 101s and stuff like that. It's got the little Allen & Ginter seal there, that little smoker dude. And so this is what it would have looked like, people. So they got an N43 is their box loader. So they kept the packaging, which is right up my alley, at least for Allen & Ginter. So that's what the N43 wrapper would have looked like. So we're keeping that. And it's got all these hobby packs. So now we'll get to show you what a hobby pack looked like compared to a retail pack. With the hobby logo there, and this one has the price. But 6 cards, 7 cards. And then gives you your odds there. So this kind of stuff I like to collect, people, because I love the 2006 Allen & Ginter set so much that I would buy an empty box just to have it. Let's see what these look like. So all these wrappers in concert. just that down there. Sorry, folks. And then this would have just popped out. That's what it looks like. And it's got these walls. Inside lid. So check these, make sure they didn't hide some cards in there, folks. But there you go. So that's that. I was able to pull a hobby box, which is super cool. I'm super excited about that. And then inside that hobby box, now I picked this up this last year, was one of these. So obviously that didn't come with it, but it's the write out from Keith Oberman with the checklist on the back. So hopefully if you like, you can pause and read any of that. Talks about the original Allen Ginter and why they're doing it again. So there you see Hulk Hogan's part of the set. Sorry, this is going to be a long video, folks, but I love 2006 Allen Ginter. So hopefully that's long enough for you guys to read all that if you like. And then on the back, so this would have came in this box along with that like box loader. So there's everything that's available from Allen Ginter 2006. And so here's the Allen Ginter postcards, and then the personalized ones here. So there's the list of the 101s. And like I said, the Danica Patrick card is my next white whale. That card has never shown up in public, so it's probably still sitting in somebody's box somewhere unless somebody has it. So those are these are the 101 postcards, which are probably the rarest thing that you can get from any Allen Ginter. And like I said, they're right there, Clint Barnes. So he was part of that. Now I have a place I can put this along with that box. So that's pretty cool. And since he got an M43 as a box loader, I just happen to have an M43. So I did buy the Cap Anson 2006 in 43. And so it shows you what other N43s you can get. So that's one of the two types of box loaders that you can get. And then there are the actual postcards. So these were before the cabinet cards, so like Derek Jeter there, if you'd like to read that. 2006. We're getting near the end here, folks. Getting near the end. There's Baltimore. So that's Cal Ripken Jr. Baseball Polka. Ted Williams. And then the coolest one, the Washington, D.C., Josh Gibson. A homer a day will boost my pay. So that is epic. That is awesome. I got this. Got the sell sheet. I need to get her to sign that. Sell sheet. This. The checklists. The postcards. All that stuff, folks. And that makes me super happy. And now another feather in my cap, so to speak, because this kind of stuff I like. I like having the packaging that this stuff came in, and that's just beautiful. Wouldn't that be something if she came in this actual box Like if this card was in this box and the guy sold that, and then 18 years later it ended up with me, and then the box ended up with me, and that's where it came from, that'd be quite a story. I don't know if Topps has a way of tracking that kind of stuff or not, because these had the hologram serial number thing on it. So who knows, maybe they could track that to the specific box that it came from. So, alright folks, I know that was a pretty long episode, but I've been sitting on this a week to show you guys. And so for special Tobacco Card Thursday, there's just a bit of my 2006 stuff. I do have a few other things, but it'll have to wait because this video is going way too long. Alright everybody, thanks for watching Old Style Classics baseball cards, and I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I think I showed you everything. Just one quick look. And that's all she wrote, everybody. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care.